Thank you for tuning in and joining in the Two Pennies, the 2 cents, my podcast. I'm your host, Nino. First of all, please, everybody, click that like button. Please keep them subscriptions coming. I appreciate you a lot. I'd like to give a big pound shout out and I just appreciate y'all to my fans, my followers, and my listeners. Thank you for all the topics. Thank you for all the opinions that you are discussing to me. Thank you for sharing a part of your life with me. Thank you for the positive comments, and thank you for the negative comments. I appreciate you. Thank you as we continue to try to go down the road, continue this journey, and just keep pushing. That's all we can do. I was browsing through my email. Well, first I had took some text messages, and I was browsing through my email, and I saw a real interesting topic that somebody had left. The topic was, can you choose a woman that's your complementary opposite? Again, can you choose a woman that's your complementary opposite? It's really basically, in layman's terms, is opposites basically attract. And even though a lot of people have discussed that, a lot of people have their opinion on it, I have my opinion. A lot of people think opposites don't attract, but a lot of people think opposites do attract. And I'm one of the firm believers that think that they do attract. So I'm going to discuss a few minutes about, can you choose a woman that's your complementary opposite? Yes. But again, this can be yes and no. But I'm going to go with yes. Choosing a woman as a man whose personality is complementary to yours can be beneficial. The ideology of the opposite attract is rooted in the concept of complementary. Now, this is a theory that is needed, which suggests individuals often seek partners who possess themselves traits that they lack. Filling in those perceived weaknesses, this can lead to a balance of strengths and weaknesses, potentially fostering growth and understanding in a relationship. I believe that opposites can attract because, see, myself, I'm a basic person that gets bored with the norm. I get bored with the same routine. If I'm in a relationship with a woman and I can figure out what she's doing, just like she can figure out what I'm doing all the time, that will get kind of boring. That will get kind of too much of it's no excitement no more in the relationship, if you dig what I mean. I think it's more better when you kind of caught off guard with a lot of things. Now, I'm not saying that I want to be in a relationship with a woman that different than me, maybe a lunatic, crazy, very volatile, violent or something. But I'm just saying, like, basic little things like you do around the house. And of course, I would love to be in a relationship with a woman, say, if I always speak my piece and she don't speak her piece. Because, see, she can give me pointers on how it's cool sometimes not to always be opening up and speaking my piece. And then I can pivot and turn it and tell her, well, then maybe she needs to open up a little bit more. So I think the opposites do attract. But again, now, this is an opinion. Because a lot of people in relationships love the idea and the fact that they are interested in dating or being long-term with somebody that has basically the same routine as they do. Not me, because I get bored. So I'm like, you come with something new, tell me if you done got me figured out. I'm doing the same little thing every day. Where it's from when I first get up in the morning till I lay down, and then you try to change up the pattern that I'm doing it or change up my daily pattern, that's cool with me. Because, see, that brings excitement more. I believe the greatest thing that can attract a person, the greatest thing that can bring more attention, The greatest thing that will alert you more is not knowing what's coming. When you know what's coming, when you can kind of estimate what's going to happen, when you already get up and by that evening say like you going through a day process, say you at work and your old lady at home, and every day you know when you get home, she's always going to meet you around 4 o'clock. You know, y'all always are going to sit down. Y'all might have a cup of coffee or drink some. Y'all always discuss something. Always in them certain time frames, everything. I like something where you can switch up. Maybe we don't need to talk that night. Maybe we're not going to drink that cup of coffee. Maybe we're not going to drink a glass of wine when I get in. You know, certain things just switch up. I like the idea of opposite, not knowing. Because, like I say, I get bored real fast. Being my body nature, being who I am. My zodiac sign is a Cancer, so a lot of times I get bored. You know, I need something to keep me alert, you know, and into it. So I like the idea of maybe my mate doing opposite things to me. Complementary needs a theory, and here's the theory. The theory posts that people are magnetic to individuals who acquire or contain qualities they desire, but lack themselves again. For instance, a melancholy person, a very melancholy person that's always seemed to be a little down in the dumps, depressed, sad, just about anything, you know, just always kind of gloomy and everything. They need a person who have a favorable percentage of being upbeat. That's going to get them up. That's going to always, you know, be positive. And, you know, because most of the time, a melancholy person, they are sad, but they are kind of negative. So the perfect scenario with them would be is a person, I believe, that's upbeat, you know, get the juices flowing, you know, positively. Let's do some things. Get them out there love. Because a lot of times people get in love, and a love can be very habitual. It can turn into a habit. It can be how they just get stuck. So get them out there love. So as I say, a person that's melancholy, I think will love a person that's energetic, upbeat, always like to do something, very happy. Very, very happy. Rewards of complementary relationships. Balancing strengths and weaknesses. Opposites complement each other's strengths and weaknesses. Create more well-rounded and dynamic, of course. Because it's just like you competitive against each other. When people compete, it's the ideal of you got this one person that's coming with a strategic game plan or strategic ideas versus this other person that's coming with a strategic game plan or the strategic ideas. And they're both pretty creative and good at the same time. That's why the competition comes in. That's why them competitive juices get to flowing. Because if you have one person that's totally dominant and the other one is not coming back with nothing, then, you know, you're going to have somebody that's just getting overwhelmed. It's no competition in it. And I think it'd be better more, again, when opposites attract more because it's the competitive thing. You know, if I like to come in and, you know, say I like to cook a certain meal a time of the day, or I like to cook a certain meal a certain way, but then again, my old lady comes in and she might like to, where I might like to broil it or deep fry it or something, and where my old lady might like to sometimes fry it a little bit lightly, steam it, put her little touch on. You see what I'm saying? It's differences though. And then again, differences, opposite attract, also create a great, how can I say this? A great awareness of learning each other. Because you're opposite, so you learn something from her, she learns something from you, or vice versa. And then there we go, learning and growth. Being with someone different can expose individuals to change their objectives, perspectives, while picking up things such as experience. Yeah, because if, again, you done taught me something new that I didn't know, I done taught you something new that you didn't know, it doesn't mean that nobody is wrong or right. It's just certain different ways of doing things. Again, people can be right. People have ideas. People have formulas how they do things. It's just different ways. And really, nobody is wrong or right, but everybody, how the world is, how everybody's made, they can't do the same little thing exactly like other person did the same little thing and come up with the same solution or conclusion or the answer. They can come up with the same answer. They can come up with the same result at the end, but they did it different kind of ways. They used different kind of methods, if you know what I'm saying. That's another way opposites attract. She used a method, he used a method, she used a method, and they used a method. He used a method. It was different ways of coming to, as I'm gonna say, something that was cool, immaculate, and fulfilling. But again, you use different kind of signals, you use different kind of ways of doing that. And again, I believe that's opposites attract. Improved compromise. Let me say that again. Improved compromise. Differences can sometimes require meeting halfway or compromise, which can tighten the laces and the thought process in the relationship. You got to be able to obtain security, to obtain rewarding things. You have to sometimes, you can't be going at each other and it has to be, okay, well, this is my way, and then take away from that person because they have a little, again, a method or a process that's cool that they want to instill or tell. And then you have a method and process that you believe is second to none, can't be stopped. And so you want to instill. So instead of battling, bickering, and, having a down and out, all out feud about it to prove that who's going to be the best or who the little ideal is better than who won, come to a compromise. Half and half. Take a little bit of this from what you have did or what you think is the way of doing it. Take a little bit of that of what she has learned and what she think is the way of doing it, and then y'all connect it together like a nucleus and build a formula. It's more beautiful that way anyway because you didn't work together. Kind of, that way you can call that teamwork makes a dream work, if you dig what I'm saying, because y'all use teamwork, again, to get to the finality of a solution that's cool with both of y'all, but the solution is still very beneficial and it gained great progress anyway. So, of course, there you go right there. Work together. Opposites attract. Work together. That's why I be saying I like opposites attract. Well, a lot of time where if you know each other and y'all exactly the same kind of way, it's either, well, okay, I know you was going to do that anyway. I had you figured out just like you figured out. And I guarantee you, I know a lot of people like that way, but I just see it again, that will get dull. Because, again, it's not no ingenious in doing that. It wasn't nothing thought out. A lot of times people like to achieve stuff by thinking out, coming with new creative ideas. And when you sometimes the same routine, oh, well, I had you figured out like you had me figured out. And there you go. Of course, there's no guarantees that complementary relationships will be a big hit. It's not no guarantees. Just like anything in life is no guarantees. But it's no guarantees that a complementary relationship will be a big plus. But don't forget, compatibility isn't determined by qualities, same values, mutual or equal respect, or second to nothing communication are very crucial for a successful relationship. Nothing is guaranteed. That's why you just got to work it. But you all work it together. But again, if you keep it neutral, if you keep it respectful, and with any kind of relationship where it's an opposites attract relationship where it's the same routine. You do the same as I do relationship. You have to communicate. You have to talk it out. You have to have somebody talking. You have to have input. Nobody is a tarot reader or a mind reader. We are not looking in a crystal ball and I can figure out what you're going to say before you already said it, or you can figure out what I'm going to say before I already said it. We have to sit down and discuss things like that. We have to sit down and discuss things, period. We will work together. Again, where is it opposite, and when we compromise and come together and create something that's beautiful, or if we have the same routine and we know each other, and you know what I'm thinking and she know what I'm thinking, but we still come to a conclusion, and again, it can be beautiful. But communication along with respect, mutual respect, it's the key. But you got to communicate. You got to communicate. How will anything going to happen if you can't communicate? Whether if you having a smooth relationship, where if you are fussing and fighting all the time, and I don't condone the fussing and fighting, but again, the key factor is you're communicating. You know, you're being informative with each other. You're talking to each other. So that's how you kind of feel. That's how I kind of feel on that. So, closing this out, can you choose a woman that's your complementary opposite? Can you choose a man that's your complementary opposite? Me, myself, I say yes. But I know the masses out there, they will say probably no, because a lot of people like the same routine. But again, I like something different, because by my mate or my partner being different and we're opposite, I believe the relationship will be more challenging. I'm looking forward to my relationship being more challenging. You know, I like a battle. I like competitive spirit. So I would love it. But again, it's not nothing wrong if you want the same routine. Can you change a woman's can you change a woman that's your complementary opposite? I think you can, but then again, everybody else probably beg to differ. 2 pennies, 2 cents, my podcast.